While the hosts and guests are encouraged to express their views, they don't necessarily reflect those of the management of Portland Sports Network, but they likely do.
Episode 18 of Off the Rails, presented by the Portland Sports Network, an audio-only broadcast today. I'm Kyle Eden on this rainy, wet Saturday morning. Plenty of things going on with today's show. We've got spring sports that have ended for the high school. We can touch on some end-of-season thoughts and awards. More college signings with PHS athletes. That never gets too old to talk about. And again, Portland Track and Field had 2 more athletes that made it to the state championships. That's getting to be an annual thing. We'll give them a shout out shortly. We'll have Bill McLaughlin and Jay Wright here to be our guests joining us. Maybe Austin Holmes can join in also, members of the PHS baseball team. But first, let me send it over to my long-lost friend, John Thayer. John, how's it going? Been a long time, it seems.
Yeah, it's going great. You've moved up and moved out on me. I'm gone to big times, getting so many broadcast minutes and shout outs and stuff. Just, you forgot I was even here, I think. Of course, there's no more baseball broadcast or basketball broadcast, so that kind of hurts it as well.
That's true. You had some middle school activities going on that kind of coincided with the broadcast that we had scheduled, but that's okay. It has been several weeks, I think, since we've talked. Did you make it out to the Strawberry Festival?
Yes, I did. I had a great time. It was fun. Those who are watching and listening, I mean, the thing is, don't really watch the YouTube thing. Just listen to us. But it does say we're in the purple. I mean, the purple and white game. I'm going to correct that here in a minute. But we're not obviously in the purple and white game. We're here at episode 18. But the bottom line is we're streaming. That's all that really matters. The computer, it went nuts a couple weeks ago, and it's still kind of trying to recover and find itself out. When I tried to set the broadcast up this morning, it just wouldn't let it go. So it says, you want to pick an old one? I said, well, I just want to get on the air, computer. So yes, whatever you think I need to do, that's what we're going to do. So anyway, yeah, the Strawberry Festival was great. The concert on Friday night was really cool. A lot of people were here. The band played was really good. Not as good as Journey Pretends.
Right, yeah.
The Journey Pretend people were awesome.
Yeah,
but anyway,
but
they were top notch, really good. And it's all the music you like, right?
Mm-hmm.
If whatever they're playing, if you don't like it, you're not going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a good job, and that's got to be hard for the committee to come up with who they're going to pick.
Oh, I agree.
So that would be a tough job to do. But somebody's got to do it, and they do a great job. But it was fun. Vendors all around.
That sets the tone for the whole festival. If you get a group in there that's maybe doesn't hit it off like some do, it's kind of a downer to start off with. So that's a lot of pressure on the chamber and those involved to make sure they get the right band to come in here and join us. But it was good.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Fireworks were loud. Wow.
Yeah, they've spent a lot. I'd like to know how much money they do spend on those things because they're not cheap, for sure. But it's really nice. I like it. It's really good job by everybody involved with it. The community supports it well. We were talking, I don't know who it was, but we were talking about the turnout, and we're kind of wondering how many people from Portland come as opposed to how many are not from Portland. You know what I'm saying? That would be an interesting ratio. We think more come Friday night from Portland people, because it's later in the afternoon and, you don't want to drive and then go home at night. Of course, we do have hotels all the way around Portland.
With more coming.
Yeah, and more coming. So that would be an interesting, but then during the Strawberry deal, the way I think is when you walk around town, how many people you run into that you know, right? Like the Fall Fest, you run into more people that you know. So that means to me that it's more of a local crowd, but Strawberry thing, I think, has gotten so big that you can walk through the whole thing and barely see anybody at all unless they're hiding from you, which normally people in Portland don't hide from you.
Yeah, I would agree. It wouldn't surprise me if the ratio was more out of town than in town, or at least 50-50. to see that coming in. But to me, it's just amazing. What would you say, 10, 15 years? How much the Strawberry Festival has evolved
Yeah,
and grown
it's totally
and
amazing.
become a different entity than it was maybe 15, 20 years ago. And of course, that's a credit to the Chamber of Commerce and those that were leading it, and the City of Portland's administration, and getting the sponsors. That's such a big deal. And I hope people kind of pay attention to that whenever they see the sponsor signs that are around, because that's what makes most of it go, makes
Yep.
the engine run. And to not have them, we wouldn't have near as much going on as they do have. But it was tough finding some strawberries, though.
They sold out. I mean, they didn't put them all in one little area, and the line's really long there. But yeah, from what I hear, they sold out of strawberries, which is cool. It's good that we got so many. My wife, she's a forward-thinking kind of person. She buys strawberries ahead of time, so strawberry night we don't not have any. We ought to set up our own little booth because everybody comes down our road anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, they're
College Street.
walking
Yeah,
from the.
they don't want to wait for the bus,
Yeah.
dude. So they just start walking, and some people drive and just they want to they just drive in your driveway, which is really a kind of a bizarre thing. Who just drives in people's driveway? You know what I mean? Oh, here's a place that I can edit the title real quick. So you said this was episode 18, right?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, Donna and I know she's on the committee, and the way I know that is the Donna and Mike's show that I try to watch. Have you ever watched that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
I enjoy that.
Yeah, if I don't
I
watch
really-
that, I don't know what's going on.
I
So-
really feel like at one time it's called the Mike and Donna Show. I
Well-
could be wrong about that.
Well, what it does is, from the way I see it, is when Donna says it, it's the Mike and Donna, because when Donna says it, she says Mike and Donna. When
Okay.
Mike says it, it's the other way around,
Oh,
because
really?
he's polite
Yeah.
kind of guy. You don't get to be the mayor by not being polite to people. That's why I thought about running for mayor once, and Bill McLaughlin said, "Coach, you being a coach is one thing, but you being the mayor, it ain't gonna work." So I decided that I didn't want to do that, and he had a good point. I'm not mayor material.
I don't think you would get out of the debate session.
No. I would be like Old Hickory, to ex-President Jackson, and hit you with my stick or something.
Yeah. No, I do like that on Facebook, and it comes across. And when I miss it, it kind of takes me a while to kind of find it, to go down and find it. Speaking of,
Yeah, and I can't. It's not ever a Friday without it. It just is what it is.
speaking of Facebook, I have become the person that I did not want to become,
Okay.
that I have fought for years and years and years. I never had a Facebook account, and I didn't care if you did. That was fine. I mean, I just didn't see. any
Right.
interest in-
You didn't
and
feel
I
the need
never-
to tell
yeah.
everybody your daughter was
No.
sick.
No, I didn't.
Stumped
I
her
never
toe.
got involved. And but I've gotten to now where I like to sell some stuff around the house, and everybody said you got to do Facebook Marketplace. I fought it, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And plus, to get on the little Facebook page we have, you had to have kind of another account to log in. So I've got an account, not my name, of course, and gotten on the marketplace. Well, I don't know
What
what's
name
happening.
is it? In case we need to go look for some good merchandise.
You'll see it on Marketplace. Just
Okay,
don't worry
just
about
go
it.
to Marketplace and
Yeah,
don't worry about stopping for one particular guy. Like when I leave home shopping, I'm going to Walmart or wherever. But here you just have to hit or miss. If they got what you're selling, then you'll find out.
But my kids like to send me stuff from Facebook. They share items, and
First,
I
I thought
never was.
you were
able-
going to say they send you stuff and you immediately need to sell it.
And I'm usually at one point I couldn't open it. I like,
Right.
and I felt bad. I like, they're trying to share something with me.
Yeah,
and
they love
I'm
you.
Sure, it's funny, and I can't get in. So that was another reason. I said, okay, I'll get on here. It won't be a big deal. Well, then all of a sudden, whatever they send me, if it's related to that, I start getting notifications. Here's another one. Here's another one. I'm like, come on. Well, got on there, and they've got this little thing called Reels. They're little shorts,
All right.
and they'll give you a little 2 or 3 second there, and I fell for it. They'll have something come up, whether it's
I know what you're talking about. It
sports-related
just
or something.
repeats
and I'll
until you
hit it,
click it.
and next thing I know, it's 20 minutes later, and I'm still scrolling through Facebook looking at all this stuff. And I'm like, I have become that person. What have I done? And it gets worse because not only do they like to send me stuff from Facebook, they send me TikTok.
I've never done a TikTok
And
anything
I
before.
couldn't get on TikTok unless I had an account. And I thought, I will just get it just so I can watch what they're sending me, comment on it. And now I think, especially with my youngest daughter, I think I send her more TikToks than she sends me now. And I find myself, it'll be end of the day, I'm out on the back porch. Next thing I know, it's dark, and I've went through about 85 TikTok things, and I'm caught up in it. I don't know what to do, and I don't know that I can get out of it now. I've went down a road that I said I would never go down.
And it's no return. You're
There's
stuck.
no exit.
Yeah.
And I just get enthralled with all these little TikTok things that come through, and I know it's evil empire or whatever.
Right. Does
but
TikTok do like Instagram though? If you look at one thing,
yes,
then everything after
Yes.
that,
well, it rotates.
does it?
It's like there's about 7 different topic subjects that are kind of related to what's been sent to me. So that's the things that kind of go on rotation when I go through there. And I just
Like me and Coach Aaron, we do catching things. When he sees something really cool catching or baseball oriented, he'll send it to me, and then I'll get 50 catcher things after that, and then I'll find something to send to him, and he'll get 50 shortstop or middle infield drills after that, and thinking, why did I even open the first one?
and it never stops. My kids have gotten, and it's kind of when you're an 80s kid like I am, it is kind of strange for these things to happen. But my kids have now gotten enthralled with Michael Jackson. The movie's coming out. Now all this interest in Michael Jackson is coming back. They're listening to his music. So
Old Michael Jackson or new Michael Jackson? Like there's 2 Michael Jacksons, one his brothers and after his brothers. I liked his
I'm talking about
brothers.
the solo career.
Oh, the solo career?
Yeah.
Okay. Once
Yeah,
he split with his brothers, he was mediocre to me.
Well, you're definitely a minority.
Yeah.
But so now it seems like every other TikTok has a Michael Jackson song to it.
Oh, really?
Whether it has anything to do with him or not, it doesn't matter. They sent me something that had to do with Michael Jackson. Now I'm getting TikToks coming through that just have people are dancing maybe, or you're seeing a Michael Jordan highlight reel, which actually those are pretty good. I do like
Michael
watching.
Jordan highlight reel?
Yeah, those are
With Michael Jackson singing?
because I want to share that with everybody, that anybody that thinks Michael Jordan is not the greatest, I want to show them the highlight reel and tell them, hey, this is not a highlight reel. This is a Tuesday night regular season game against a nobody, and he played like that. It was from the start of his career to the end. That's the kind of plays you got from him.
I would probably pick MJ first, but if this is the situation, if I was playing the Russians and the referees were letting it go, letting no calls happen, and I needed to get a bucket, I'm going with LeBron because he can physicality-wise force himself to the goal. Where Mike, you could knock him around a little bit because he was littler. LeBron is an animal, dude. He's like it. Can you imagine him playing tight end in football?
And I could not.
It would be. I mean, he would be phenomenal. Now on a baseball field, he'd strike out just like every big guy athlete that thinks they can play baseball because it's so easy. The minute they get on the baseball field, they would strike out and want to go back to doing whatever sport they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that so many times. It's like scary. How many I could play baseball? No, you can't. It's not that easy.
Well, it's just the thing now. You've got the argument on the ESPNs now where someone came out and said that NASCAR drivers aren't athletes. Shout out.
Yeah, and
RIP to Kyle Busch, who passed away this week, but saying that they're not athletes. And it's like, well, you sit down and try and do it. You try and get in there. As a basketball player, can you be a race car driver? Or as a race car driver, can you shoot a basketball? And it's like, it's that skill set.
right. I would say everybody can drive a car, which they can. I think when you get to a certain age, you should have to get retested, to be honest with you. Of course, now that I'm getting to that age, I might not want that to happen. I think in America, it's just you've earned the right to just run people over and spill stuff on electronic equipment that's really expensive. And So, but anyway, I don't know. I don't know if a race car driver is really an athlete or not, but I know what
Really?
yeah, they like to get pinned up in a hot car all day. How about it, and that's a question. I like air conditions, dude. I don't want to drive around in 95-degree weather on hot pavement with other exhaust systems blowing in my face without not having the windows up and the air conditioner on. But I don't think they're athletes. You can get mad at me if you want to, but I just think they're very skilled individuals, very skilled drivers.
What
But can they
sport,
catch a ball?
what athlete, not as a person but as a sport, what athlete do you think like that you see that could play another sport real well? Like, could you see most basketball players should be able to play baseball?
No.
Or what two sports do you think?
Basketball and football can probably collide depending
Okay.
on the athlete itself.
Okay.
Baseball is a whole different dynamic. And then people going, well, you're a baseball guy. I'm a everything guy. If you've not noticed that in the last 4 years we've been together, I know all quantums of basketball, football, and baseball. I've coached all three. But baseball is a different dynamic, all because you have a body, so to speak. Your athletic build doesn't mean it translates into baseball. Because the two things about baseball that kill you is, one, you got to hit a baseball. And it's still the hardest thing to do consistently of any other sport, period. And the second thing about baseball is the mentality of baseball. Baseball was invented for failure. It messes with your head. If you think about it, baseball is all about failing. Everybody's going to fail in baseball. Period. Nobody doesn't fail in baseball. And it's a consistent failure. It's not like if you miss 2 out of 10 free throws, you're 80%, you're still a star free throw shooter.
True.
Right? But in baseball, man, you're not hitting 7 out of 10 times. You're right. You're failing 7 out of 10 times. If you only hit 3 out of 10 free throws, you'd be on the bench, right? Or you'd be the center that can't shoot free throws. But baseball, that's the way. It's dealing with the mental part of the failure. Is I don't care how good of an athlete you are, if your mind can't handle that, you're not going to succeed in baseball.
That's pretty good.
And most kids, the parents, like I tell you, if you're ordaining your kid as a future Hall of Famer when they're 11 and 12 years old on the little ball field, you're absolutely crazy. Just shut up and wait until you get 16 and you're on a 60-90 and you're playing good competition. Then if it's translating well on the field, then you can kind of get excited and start maybe looking at a school here and there and that kind of stuff. But until that happens, shut up and just enjoy the moments and just keep working hard, and let's see, because the failures and stuff aren't going to start adding up and matter as much until they're 15, 16, 17 years old. And then when that starts happening, it can go downhill really quick.
I think you see more basketball, baseball athletes playing golf at a high level than you see any of your top 10 rated golf players being able to play baseball. Or
Yeah,
basketball.
well, and golf is, until Tiger Woods started, is a money deal. It's if you couldn't afford to get on a course somewhere, you wasn't playing. And if your parents didn't have the money to get you on it, we were lucky here in Portland, where over here at our Dogwood Hills wasn't overly priced.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is athletes being able to play in another sport.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay, I was just getting on the golfers a little bit about. In the old days, it was just the rich kids that could play golf. Not anymore.
You watch these little pro-ams that go on, and you see a lot of other sports athletes that do real well playing golf. And you just wonder those golfers can't go back over and play so well in those other sports. I just think that's kind of...
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of elevate how good of an athlete you are? Because I'm able to do this and able to do that?
Yeah.
Or is it just one...
No, it's cool. I mean, is golf really a sport? I thought that was just a way to get mad and spend a lot of money all in the same outing. It's like,
Does the high school not have a golf team?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll have some people talking to you about that here a little bit later, about your thoughts on golf.
I don't know, man. I'm just talking. I don't want to hurt anybody's sports feelings. Everybody's an athlete, okay? Even the moms that go to grocery store shopping, like Walmart, dude, that can be brutal. Shooting that cart around and stuff. You can really get into some trouble. So they're athletes too. They got to think fast. They've got to come up with, there's two things on the shelf. Which one's the most expensive, the least expensive? But it doesn't always translate. You want the best taste too. right? You save $5
Yeah.
on this box of chips and your kids don't eat them. What was the point of saving $5 on them? You know, like the cheap ketchup. Why you go cheap ketchup? Just go with what you like. It's a little expensive, but enjoy your fries while you're eating.
You ever tried to come out of an aisleway at a grocery store and get run over by two different people?
Well, I'm the runner over.
You didn't look. You didn't look both ways before you
Yes,
jumped out.
I'm
and
the
next thing
runner
you know,
over.
there's a-
I just remember in the COVID. Did you ever go to the store when COVID? Everybody had to go down one aisle,
Yeah.
and then there would be some lady coming up the other aisle, and you go, "Ma'am, this is one way now," and she'd just tell you off like, "I've been here for 150 years. I'm not turning around. I'm going down whatever aisle I want to go down. You can't make me. You know, the president is crazy. There's no really disease anyway. I was just coughing up a lung." You know,
Are you sure you didn't dream that moment?
no, that happened at Walmart. Walmart. They had the aisles one directional during COVID. I'm promising
I
you.
don't know.
And there was like
That
split them out. Only so many people could come in the store at one time,
yeah,
and all
that's
kinds of
true.
crazy stuff.
was true. Ain't that weird?
Yeah,
That seems like yesterday, but yet seems so long ago.
yeah, it is weird.
And you think about kids that were like 10 and under. How do you explain to them in 20 years what that was like? Having a
Well, one is you want to make sure they're 20 years old or they're 30. You can talk about it. You don't want to tell a 10-year-old about COVID.
well,
That freak them out.
that's my point.
But there's some people TikTok they still talk about COVID. I bet. I don't know. That was
Don't-
pretty.
Don't
and
say
I don't
it out
wanna-
loud because now to show
Yeah,
up on
and
my
I don't
phone.
want to get into that either because some people still claim that really wasn't a virus that was implanted. But I don't know. I don't want to. It's political now.
Yeah, that could have been invented by the same people that said we landed on the moon, right?
It could have been. Yeah, that's all. I don't know. It's like that's why I like sports is because sports is real, and somebody's gonna say, "Yeah, really." But if
Speaking of real sports, the first entry to the Women's College Softball World Series occurred last night as our Lady Vols won their second game against Georgia. Now they're in the College World Series.
back to back,
How much of a chance do you give them this year?
I don't know. I don't know if we got the hitting for it. We got pretty fair defense. The good thing about it is we got more than one pitcher. I think
Yes.
I know they can pitch as many pitches as they want to,
Right.
but if you watch the amount of energy they put into pitching, having more than one, I think, is critical. You know what I mean? It's got to be a tough athlete to pitch every single game in softball, which a lot of teams only use one pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So having two real pitchers, then maybe three, I think could help them. Because I know the girl who was the number one draft pick and fastest pitcher on record ever,
Yeah.
she has her spells of losing control. So the good thing about it is you don't, if she gets in that mode and it's a tight game late, you got, quote, a closer.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the old days, you didn't have a closer. So that could bode well for them.
And I think, could be wrong, softball could be different, but you look at baseball, you bring in another pitcher, then you got to get used to a different release,
Right.
different
Different spins,
up,
different all
go.
kinds of stuff.
And I think when you've got three, and that being said, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, does lead the country, not the SEC, but the country in team ERA.
Yep.
And the one you're talking about, Carlin Pickens, she's actually third on the team in ERA. And of course, she's considered your ace
Right.
and your number one, but she actually is third as far as
Yeah.
ERA.
They got
But-
three legitimate pitchers that can pitch, and that could bode well for them.
But I could see, and they did that last night. They pitched Ewers, I think it was maybe 2 innings, and then they brought in.
Well, the one girl pitched
other girl?
one in a third inning.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, she gave up 2 hits. Apparently, that 2 hits is a lot in softball. Apparently, because they chunked her. I didn't watch early in the game, so I didn't see what transpired to pull her out. But the other girl just gave up 1 hit late in the game. She was pretty impressive.
I got a friend of mine. We talk Vols sports, not just football, all the other sports a lot. And we was just talking the other day. Softball is one that I don't question for whatever reason, probably because I don't know the game well enough. I don't question what the coach does. If the coach says, I'm going to start this pitcher, or the coach says, this is what I'm doing, I don't question Coach Weekly. Barnes will do something for the basketball team, and I say, I don't understand why he's doing that. Football, of course, we second guess about everything that he does. But for some reason, for her, and of course, baseball, don't get me started.
Don't
on
even
ball
get me started
baseball.
on him. Good
Yeah.
gosh.
Where do you think we'll be traveling to?
I don't
They'll have
know,
us going all the way
but
to
sure, we're
California for the
playing
regions.
Arkansas. Yeah, let's just lose the game right here and let this guy who finally figured it out oh, you struck 2 guys out in a row here. I'm going to take you out. So we can get another freshman in there to give up a 3-run blast. That'd be great.
Yeah, that didn't-
Absolutely. 5 more pitches. And it was what day? Tuesday? It's not going to kill you in the tournament next weekend, right?
Yeah.
And then now your ace didn't even get to throw this week against real live pitching. So
Right.
hopefully it's dry enough in Knoxville that he can throw.
He was saving him for the championship game, wasn't he?
Well, maybe the second round. He was saving him to Thursday, Friday to try to get him in the rotation of what the regionals might be.
Yeah.
So he was saving him for at least the next day. So, because you don't want to throw your ace on Tuesday, because right now they're used to going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, depending on how your weekend goes. You don't want to throw them on a Tuesday and Wednesday. You don't want to treat that's your middle of the week game. You don't want to throw one of your 3 in the middle of the week game if you can help it. So that kind of gets their rhythm off a little bit. So you got to be real careful there. That's where a lot of high school coaches screw up, is they mess around with the rotations and stuff like that and don't know where someone hits a wall consistently. You got to always know where the wall is at. Sure, if you got a 10-1 lead, maybe you can throw a few more balls past that normal wall. But if it's a tight game, when you're getting close to the wall, your pin's got to be ready to go just on a drop of the hat because you're getting close to the wall. And this did happen so much in baseball. It's unbelievable how many people screw that up.
And one thing you don't have in college baseball, you don't have depth in pitching at all. So it's got to be hard. Tuesday, Wednesday, what? If you have to play that opening round, what is that? 5 games you got to win in 5 days, just about.
Yeah, but
Or
number-wise,
5 and 6
you
games?
do have depth in pitching, but you don't have quality depth in pitching.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really don't understand how they ended up with so many freshmen this year with the portal money that they have to spend. I mean, they can roll in 7 or 8 freshman pitchers, which is cool if they're going to hang out. But where you gotta have some freshman depth, but you gotta also throw out some portal. If you don't have 3 starters coming into the season, you need to go to portal and get 3 starters. That's the most important thing in baseball.
Kudos to the coach of any sport that can follow that gray line of still recruiting good players to your school and being able to bring transfers in, because that's the game now. You can't say, I don't believe in this transfer portal business, so I'm not going to do it. You have to.
You absolutely. You got to do a little of both, though.
You've got to say that's the way it is. And we got some topics on that we'll discuss later as far as the transfer portal and ideas and things that's been floating around. But first, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, Bill McLaughlin, Jace Wright will join us, talk a little PHS baseball. Come back and join us. This is Off the Rails, presented by the Portland Sports Network.
In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service.
From phones and laptops to toys and tools, many of our favorite things run on batteries. But when tossed in the trash or recycling bin, these batteries can spark intense fires that are nearly impossible to stop. Battery fires are happening more often. They've destroyed homes, burned down garbage trucks and recycling centers, and, tragically, taken lives. When a facility goes up in flames, trash and recycling services can be shut down for weeks or even months. The good news, battery fires are easy to prevent. Just remember, never throw batteries in the trash or recycling bin. Always tape the ends and drop them off at a safe collection site or mail them in using a certified return box.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
This is Coach Danny Thompson, Portland High School Hall of Famer. You're listening to KHS Athletics on Portland Sports Network.
Tennessee Commission for the United States Semiquincentennial was created to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States and recognize Tennessee's integral role in that event and the impact of its people on the nation's past, present, and future. The Commission promotes an inclusive statewide celebration and educational commemoration of America's 250th by interpreting and preserving Tennessee's unique stories, objects, landmarks, and places across our diverse state that defined who we are as Tennesseans and Americans.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. Thanks for. You got to learn how to fade that out a little bit.
No,
John
I like
Thayer.
to keep you on your toes, buddy.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I was waiting for the music to kind of slow out, and then me just kind of fade in on that, and then we're just going to start right up.
Yep, that's good for you. Got to keep you on your toes.
Okay, well, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us this morning here on Off the Rails. Kyle Eden along with John Thayer, Miguel Amadeus out on assignment this weekend, unable to join us. Hopefully he'll be back next weekend to get things back running on the road here. Got a couple of PHS baseball players here with us, and Bill and Jace, glad you could join us. Watching you out on the field, it's good to have you kind of in a different environment, just kind of sitting here to talk with us. We're going to chat a little bit about baseball. It could be PHS. We could talk about if golfers are athletes or if NASCAR drivers are athletes.
Yeah, we can
and
talk about anything you guys want
get
to.
your opinion on that.
We can talk about if your crops have been sown yet. Is your hay? Have you time to get your hay up? It's not the time for hay yet.
Is it sown? Is
I don't know. What's it called when you?
I think sowed.
Plant it.
That's even better.
Come on, you gotta turn. You gotta make your job sound even more interesting by having these buzzwords. Northern. I've never been in the north.
Maybe.
So what is out? Like what? Give us this time of year. What are you doing on the farm?
Just got done planting beans. Wait for the weather to kind of clear up to cut hay, but we didn't have any weeds, so we don't have to get ready to cut that.
I hope I hear you.
Should be able to.
You probably hear me. What one are you and Kyle? I can't hear you for some reason. I bet. Try now. Try now.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear him? No. So you're getting all this smart stuff going on, and I can't even. For some reason, your mic is dead. We don't know why. It's all plugged in. These are all up. You should be good to go. Jace, can you say something?
Well,
Yeah,
let's do that. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Yeah. For some reason.
Give us a name, what grade you just completed.
My name is Jace Wright. I just completed my junior year of high school, going into senior year, and I still go to Portland High School. Moved here from Bakersfield, California, I think 5 5 years ago now. I think we're going on our 5th Christmas, maybe our 6th. I don't know.
Wow.
Big culture change going from California to Portland.
Bill catches on quick. Bill's looking at me like, okay, am I live now? And I look at Bill and I go, thump it. Because that way you don't know. You just think that I hit my coffee cup with my mic without having to interrupt. So you're from Bakersfield. For some reason, I didn't even know that.
Yep. You got me my first year of Portland sports. My first ever Portland sports anything was with Coach Thayer, my 8th grade year.
Oh, God. And that didn't mess you up for life? That's pretty amazing.
You didn't move back. Wow.
Well,
probably
yeah,
you didn't have a choice,
parents,
probably.
Parents pack up and go, we're out of here. Good God.
Go ahead, Bill. Let's get your voice and name together.
Well, I'm Bill McLaughlin. I just finished up junior year just like Jace. I'm homeschooled, actually, so that's kind of cool. But I'm ready for my senior year of baseball with Portland. Just ready for the ride.
Oh,
One
wow.
last ride.
Wow. It'll just like a blur.
I like those shorts, Bill. I need a pair of those. Are them swim trunks or just outdoor shorts?
They're just outdoor
They're
shorts.
camos. They're pretty cool. They're not underwear, right?
No,
Okay.
they're shorts.
They're cool. I need to hook me up and tell me where you got those. Can I try those on?
Sure.
They're pretty
Not
cool,
here,
man.
please.
Now I know why the girls are just lined up on the doorsteps here. When Bill came in, all of a sudden 4 of the girls from nowhere just started following Bill into the thing here. So
Well, he's an enigma. You heard he's homeschooled, so they just know him by name.
and reputation.
They've heard of him.
If you don't know
and I
Bill
wanna know who it
McLaughlin,
is.
you're not from Portland.
There you go. There you go.
He's been growing that legacy since a 6th grader. He's the quickest guy to ever pick up the swing. It was, me and Aaron Whitten, two practices after that, we go, that kid, he's already got the swing down. Sometimes they don't figure it out till they're in high school. Sometimes they never figure it out. That's why they get cut when they get to high school or never play or or hit 0 for their life in high school. But Bill is a 6th grader. We go over it. We try not to pound it in the head because the hardest thing about middle school kids is they're dumb and you can get them confused. And you try to make it as simple as you possibly can and feed the ones that you can feed. The ones who can't feed, just keep them from crossing the street in the middle of the game. It's just really that simple. That's why some teams are better than others, because depending on how many kids you got that can actually understand the feeding, you can't go too far ahead because only 2 or 3 kids will come that way. But anyway, Bill picked it up right out of the gate. It was just unbelievable. He taught me how to say McLaughlin, even though I lived one street away from his street. I live one street from McLaughlin Street, but I didn't call it McLaughlin. I called it McLaughlin. And Bill corrected me as a 6th grader. Yes, sir. I already knew his dad because his dad was only a couple years older than my son. So I already knew his dad. I always got football and fist bump his dad through the years. And of course, if you don't know his grandpa, you don't follow University of Tennessee football and Portland history because
that's right.
But
that's right.
He made me say the name right. Luckily, I wasn't on radio at that time because I would have been told way before that I was saying it wrong. But Bill picked up the swing quick as a 6th grader, the fastest yet. I've got one kid right now, Hudson Dillard, that's right on your tail, and he doesn't even know who you are, believe it or not. So
Really?
you have to pick it up.
Switching over to Jace, nothing to do with baseball. I had a neighbor not too long ago.
Named
moved
Jace?
out. No, but he was from California. And Jace may not know this. How does someone from California find Portland, Tennessee and say, hey, I want to move here?
Yeah, man, it was the only thing that I can call it is it's a God-given opportunity, man. So living in Bakersfield, and my mom is from here. She was born in Donaldson.
Okay.
And I think right about her high school years, she moved over to California. She met my dad. She, I guess, fell in love. He did something to her, I don't know, that made her stay there. And so she
normally it's the other way around. So kudos to him. I wish I get my son.
I don't know
Hey,
what
tell
he
him to
did
call
to
my
her.
son and get it figured out so they can move up here.
So she ended up staying in California, and then my brother came around, and 11 years later I came around, and
wow,
California just got it grew.
California-y?
Yeah, it grew more and more not for us, and so it was kind of in the conversation between our family, but it was never like hey, it's this day that we're gonna pack up and go. and so it was getting thrown around here and there. And my mom told me that, hey, I just applied for some jobs. We were thinking like the White House area or maybe the Hendersonville area, but once again, like we're not really like saying like, hey, we're gonna move right now. So she said, hey, I applied for some jobs. Hopefully I can just get over and have some conversations with some people in the school system, because she's a teacher. She was an assistant principal. And so she said, I'm just going to try to have some conversations with some Tennessee teachers. And so she just applies for, I don't know the number of jobs. And Miss Gilman over at Watt Hardison Elementary calls up my mom and she says, hey, I'd like to talk to you. And pretty much like, you're hired.
Wow.
So it was just one of those things that it was like, it was a conversation, then it was like, all right, we're going to do this.
And so it wasn't no gradual
It was
getting
not
good at that time.
No. So I was just going about my life. I was in fifth grade, finishing up my fifth grade year, and fifth grade was when COVID hit, and then sixth grade year. By the end of sixth grade year, all the schools here were already like open back up, like they're back in person. And my school, we were doing half days, half of the week. So we were going to school like 2 or 3 days of the week, and for half of the day and only half of the class. So if you've got a 20 kid class, 10 of the kids are going in from 8 to 11, and the rest of the kids are coming in from noon to 3. And it was just this odd thing.
Yeah,
like it was awful. It was awful. And so mom finally got a bite on the job hire from Miss Gilman, and
which was a good hire, by the way.
yes,
Your mom's
she loves
classy person.
She
knows
loves
her
Watt
stuff.
Hardison, and we love Portland too. So yeah, it was just a super quick thing, and the whole process was a little difficult. Me and my mom had to jump on a plane. We just packed up our stuff and got over here, and we left Dad in California because the house wasn't sold.
Right.
Nothing had been packed up, and
Right.
so Dad is just left by himself. He's got his buddies, my uncles, and all this stuff. He's by himself. He's got the dog, and so he did a phenomenal job. Sold the house, got all of our stuff packed up, and he drove like 34 hours over here and brought all of our stuff over here. And thankful for my aunt, or my mom's aunt. She just let us live in her cabin in Portland while, like, my first 3 months of seventh grade year when we first moved here. So it was just me and my mom living with my aunt and uncle, and without my dad finally showed up, got all of our stuff, found a house, still where we are right now. And yeah, the only thing that I can describe it as is a God-given opportunity. Every door was just open perfectly between Miss Gilman giving Mom a call,
Right.
and then us jumping on a flight, and my aunt welcoming us into the house, and then us finding a house in Portland and getting to registration at Portland West. I mean, it all just fell in place so perfectly.
Until you showed up on the middle school field, then your mom said, "Oh gosh."
Yeah, then we were like, all right, what are we doing here? Yeah.
That's awful.
No, I'm gonna tell you what. His mom's a class act. She's the kind of parent that I need all my parents to be. Just let me have your kid, and let me coach them, and just stand behind what we're trying to tell them. I mean, and I get it. You don't need to do that blindly as a parent. I've never been a respect your elder, unequivocally kind of guy. You have to earn respect from people. You know what I mean? The respect your elder kind of guy gets you in some problems in certain areas if the elder is not what he needs to be, or her. But his mom's the kind of mom. She's a baseball mom. If he's gonna go to the next level, she's gonna be one of the biggest reasons why is because she expects a lot of him. You have to, as a parent, you can't be your kid's fan. And, his mom's proud of him. She loves him. She thinks he's a good ball player. But she's also hard enough on him to make him keep working. And that's where the parents are the disconnect parents. That's in middle school. Like this year, I had a really fun year. I hate to say this, but I haven't enjoyed middle school ball in a couple years. And a lot of it's because of parents. If the parents sit back and expect, like, if you don't coach them hard and they kind of question, like, why aren't you coaching them harder? That's what you want as a coach. You don't want the other way around where you're more of a babysitter. I can't babysit. That's just not the way I do. And his mom is a mom that doesn't want a babysitter. She wants somebody that's going to hold him accountable, teach him the game of baseball, love him, and work him hard. And that's why she's a top quality mom. It's because she's that kind of person.
Wow.
If he makes an error, she's not going to be the one in the stands going, "That's okay. Don't worry about it. You'll do better next time." She's biting her tongue going, I'm going to kill him when he gets home. But that's what you have to do as a parent. You have to have high expectations, because if you don't, they're not gonna have them themselves. It all starts at home. It really does.
So, Bill, you're managing that first base corner. Is that kind of a position that you was hoping for, or maybe did Coach Stein just kind of see your skill set and said, "Hey, you would fit there and do well in that area"?
I started out at third in middle school, like 8th grade year, and then started freshman year. That's what I was playing. Played a few varsity games there, and then we were losing our first baseman, which was Ashton Darnell, and I guess Stein kind of just came up to me and was like, "You're decent at third. You don't really get the arm for it." And then he was like, "We really need somebody to step up and be the first baseman next year." So he said that he's going to give me an opportunity to play some games at first, and I just kind of took it and ran with it. It's a pretty fun spot.
Do you feel like, I'm sure it was kind of awkward at first, but do you feel like you really kind of fell into that position in that area? Because you look comfortable to me, especially towards the last half of the season.
Yeah, it was a little different. Definitely the start of last year. It was just I hadn't played it in so long, and it was just a lot different than third. But now I don't know how I could play anywhere else. It's kind of just embedded into me. It's just.
Does it ever scare you when Josiah's fixing to whip the ball over
sometimes,
across the field there?
Sometimes, and Caden Lane, he's maybe 30 feet from me, and he's got this facial expression that it's like he's about to kill me, and then he just tosses it over there. And I get scared to death every time he throws me the ball.
That's very funny. I like that one. What about you, Jace? You play more than one position, though.
Yeah, man. I just love to do whatever coach tells me to do. Any way I can find on the field. I mean, I joke around with Coach Stein this year. It's like, hey, if you told me to get behind the plate, I would do it, and I would do it to the best of my ability. And he knows that, and I think a lot of my coaches, or all of my coaches, know that about me, is that whatever you ask me to do, I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And this year that was playing left field. And Stein talked to me beginning of the year, and he said, hey, you're going to have a tough way into the infield this year, because our senior class was really good. And with Bill at first, he was like, hey, you're going to have to beat out Bill if you're going to want to play first. And so I'm like, hey, what's another position I can go beat out, right? And so he said, we're gonna move you from first base and from the infield. They were kind of getting me reps at third and some at second and short my freshman and sophomore year. We're gonna move you into left field. We know that you can just kind of go over there, and we're gonna see how you do. And so first couple scrimmages threw me into left field. I think I made 1 or 2 errors, and they were like, I don't know how it's gonna go in left field. And finally picked it up probably third or fourth game, and came in after running down a ball, and Coach Stein said, you finally look like an outfielder. And I'm like, all right, that's where I'll be for the rest of the year. And thankfully I put in the work at the plate, and Stein told me, like, you're going to figure it out in left field no matter what, and you're going to stay in the lineup no matter what. So he just he threw me out there to just figure it out, and that's what I did. And just kept sticking it at the plate and figuring it out in left, and that's where I hung out.
Good deal.
What are you going to play next year, you think? Or what do you want to play? And don't say wherever the team needs me. I know we already heard that, so we're good with that. I appreciate that. But where do you think you might rotate? Because you're losing all your infielders, but your middle infielder, your shortstop, or second baseman, wherever he ends up being. But I thought he was your true shortstop. So you got him coming back, but really, we don't have any more locks, do we?
We do not. No, we've got Bill locked at first, and
then Austin at short.
Austin at short is going to be pretty good, and Devin behind the plate, but that's not a place that I'm looking to go play. Timmy's going to be pretty good in center field. I'd say I'm fine with sticking in left field. I learned how to play the position pretty well this year. I learned to enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year, I started to enjoy running down fly balls out there and just joking around with my center fielder. I had JJ over there, so we're far enough away from everybody that we can just kind of let loose out there and joke around and lock in on every pitch. So I learned to enjoy it at the end of the year. I'd like to go play third. I like to be in the infield. I like to be where the action is. But, you know, if Coach Hunt comes in and says, hey, we're going to stick in left field, I'm going to be more than happy, and I'm going to go do it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You do have the work ethic and the skill set to play third for sure. And that's on my little piece of paper that I had you, and I had a different center fielder than you had. I had your center fielder playing in another position in the outfield, but I had another guy at center. But we'll see how it all works out.
Well,
Maybe
I'm
we
looking
can
at
do
the
a
roster, and I did not realize how many seniors
so
there were
many.
this year. Wow. Yeah, so it's kind of going to be a revamp.
Yeah,
for
the
next
senior
year for
class
a-
this year when they were sixth graders was my last legitimate, really good team in middle school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Bill was on that team, and we were legitimately good ball club. We had Keelan Dalton was playing then, and Keelan could hit, dude. He can play some first too. He wasn't a bad first baseman. That was the hardest thing with Keelan's finding a spot for him, and it was just dumb luck. You know, I said, the kid's got to play on the field. He's too good of an athlete and he can hit too good. And one day I said, just go play first. And, you know, he didn't know everything at first. He had to learn it. Every practice, that's the thing you got to learn as coaching. If you walk up and tell a kid everything day one about their position, you just screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a middle infielder about rounding the ball and all. Man, you don't tell a middle school kid about all that stuff. Catch the ball, throw the ball, hit the ball. If you start telling a sixth grader that's never consistently caught ground balls at short to start rounding balls and going this direction, which is wrong anyway, you get in their head. They start thinking instead of just catching. What I do is just put you out there when you start making the plays. Then we start fine-tuning and teaching you the intricates like backstabs, that kind of stuff, backhands, V-cuts. You know, most high school kids don't even know what a V-cut is. Only special kids you talk to V-cuts about because you start getting that in their mind and they start messing everything up. But you got to go slow. But yeah, that was a legitimately good team. And then my season, this year's team was a really good team in middle school wise. And I don't want to take anything away from them. And then next year's team is going to be phenomenal if they work hard.
Wow. We're going to take a little short break and get our breaths here, and we'll come right back. We'll talk a little bit about more about baseball, but we may get into some other sports also as you're listening Off the Rails here on the Portland Sports Network.
Tennessee Commission for the United States Semiquincentennial was created to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States and recognize Tennessee's integral role in that event and the impact of its people on the nation's past, present, and future. The Commission promotes an inclusive statewide celebration and educational commemoration of America's 250th by interpreting and preserving Tennessee's unique stories, objects, landmarks, and places across our diverse state that defined who we are as Tennesseans and Americans.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Coach Danny Thompson, Portland High School Hall of Famer. You're listening to KHS Athletics on Portland Sports Network.
Bill
right.
McLaughlin, I got it that time. Bill McLaughlin, Jace Wright, our esteemed guest this morning on the show. And let's look at the other side of the field, going to batting. Is there a pitcher out there that just has your number? And it's like every time he gets up there, you think you've got him, but you don't have him.
I don't.
And you don't have to say him by name. You just or
There's a few, but I don't know. I feel like I'm definitely less confident against lefties.
Oh, really?
But I just never see them really.
Mhm.
This year, before this year, I'd maybe seen them 3 times a year, and I bet you we saw 10 of them this
We
year.
saw so many lefties.
Really?
Which is
many.
awesome for righties because it's the only time they don't see righty on righty. But it's just, I don't know. That's one main goal for me this winter and this fall is to get really, really good hitting off lefties because I feel like that's one way.
How you gonna do that?
Well,
set the machine up lefty. Just try to just get really good at hitting anything inside, and then whenever I get good at inside, I can hit the outside pitch amazing because I crowd the plate way too much, probably more than I should, because outside to me is pretty much middle. But that also takes away that kind of that inside. So I'm gonna try to not really I'm not gonna mess with my swing. I'm just gonna kind of mess around with where I sit in the box. But
Yeah, move out a little.
I'm gonna try some different.
when you
things.
say move out, are you saying away from the
Away
plate,
from the
or are you
plate,
saying
about
open
that
up?
many inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just saying move back, not open up. Okay.
Yeah. That'll do it for you. Because the inside should be easy for you.
Yeah, inside. That's where I wish they'd pitch me all the time. That's
Right.
why I crowded the plate so much the first 2 years is because nobody would go inside.
Right.
And I bet I only saw 5 inside pitches all year, maybe 5, and that might be pushing it.
That's interesting. You talk about the influx of left-handed pitchers. Was a lot of those in our district, or was it mostly the pre-district games?
There was a few in our district, but there was a lot just everywhere. It was kind of like a good ratio of pitching. Because normally it's like 90-10 righty just dominate.
Okay.
I bet this year is 60-40, maybe 50-50.
Really?
It's weird. I guess everybody had a good lefty this year.
What about you, Jace? Is there a pitcher that kind of bothered you, or was it more just a style, maybe?
Man, I think just for me, it's a mentality, man. So going to Liberty Creek, they had a really good team with a really good arm on the mound. They've got a D1 arm on the mound, and my first at
Lower
bat,
D1.
yeah.
There's 356 D1 teams, buddy. All of them, all because you're going to one of them, don't mean you're good.
Well, he was good.
I don't know about that.
He
I
had-
do know about that. UT Martin's not a very good baseball team, and they're D1.
Well, Goddard had good stuff, and my first at bat, I just went up there like intimidated, like, oh my gosh, he's D1, he throws 93, he's just gonna blow it by me, and I got K'd on 3 pitches, and then my second at bat, I go up there and he throws me a fastball, and I fouled the first fastball off, and I just got so comfortable. Finally put the bat on the ball, and I'm like, all right, I got him where I wanted him, and next pitch threw me another fastball. He thought he could just blow it right by me, and I hit a single up the middle, and so. Just stepping in the box every single time, it's a mentality for me. If I think I'm better than you, I'm better than you.
Wow.
And if I think you're better than me, you're probably better than me.
Wow.
And so we saw some good arms. We saw a good lefty at a station camp, and he beat me and I beat him. And so it's just a mentality thing at bat to at bat, and it also depends on his mentality. So like for Goddard, when you throw 93. Most of the time in high school, you can just throw 6 fastballs by somebody when you throw 93 because you're not going to see 93. We didn't see 93 all but once this year, and that was from Goddard. And so when you throw that hard, it's easy for you to just set into this mentality like you're just going to be behind on the fastball. I don't even have to throw my slider because you're just going to be behind on the fastball. And I think that's a mentality that Goddard got into, especially after striking me out on 3 pitches. Threw me a fastball that I fouled off. He's probably up there thinking like, just got lucky, right? Just going to throw him another fastball right by him, single up the middle. And so it's just a mentality thing.
So he never mixed it up. So
he threw
just
me
said, "I wanna
he threw
keep
me
it
a
here."
slider and a changeup in my first at bat, and so I only saw 1 fastball. But my second at bat, he probably think I was just out of there because I only saw 3 pitches. But like I said, it's just a mentality. We saw a couple quality arms. We saw one really good arm, and that was out of Liberty Creek. Camp had that good quality arm. We saw a good arm from Greenbrier, but there's no pitchers up there that we saw that like just dominated me. But if I thought they were going to dominate me, or if I was intimidated or anything like that, they did.
Got you. Understood.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because it's like my grandson. He freshman and his team, they went to the Final Four. Shout out to Destrehan Fighting Wildcats, first time ever Final Four. And Louisiana baseball is cool. Let me tell you, what you do is if you're the top 2 teams in the district, you move on to a 64 team round tournament. You play the team you're bracketed with, best of 3, and you move on until you get to the finals. But every weekend, you're at somebody's house or they're at yours, depending on the seeding, 3-game series. And it's really cool. But anyway,
so you got like 5 rounds of 3-game series.
Yep, 5 rounds of 3-game series.
Good gracious.
So much baseball.
Yeah, but it's so cool. I mean, their first round, they were at home. They won 2 out of 3. Then they had to go travel the next 3 weekends. They were gone. I can't even remember all the towns they went to, but it was cool. They'd leave out Thursday after school and drive halfway and practice at a college somewhere. Get back on the bus, go eat. Then you get to the hotel. Their coach was actually brilliant because, most time a parent, I got to get them at their hotel. I got to get them seated in, blah, blah, blah. Man, he knows kids. His senior was one of his sons. He knows you guys don't go to bed till 1 o'clock or 2 anyway. So he's pulling in the hotel at midnight in a lot of times, but they've already practiced on the way from school to this location. They've eaten already. And, sit down restaurant kind of deal. So that's going to take forever when you got a whole team of kids. But they show up 12. He let them sleep in. They'd wake up about 11:30, eat, go work out, come back to the hotel, relax until the game that night. But it was a cool experience for the kids. Anyway, and I don't even remember where I was going with that. But I had to throw that out. What we were talking about before that. That's what you do when you get older. You forget things. But anyway, something about why did I bring
You
that
shouted out your grandson.
Right, but there was a conversation.
We were talking about mentality.
Mentality, yeah. So that's the whole key is the mentality thing. Is just you've got to know. But they played a team that the kid was throwing 97, signed with LSU. He was on the bench, right? He's not playing. He's a freshman. But after the thing, he texted me and I said, "Man, that dude was dealing it. Wasn't I think he threw a 1-hitter." He goes, "I would have hit him." And I'm thinking,
if they'd have just let me in.
Yeah, if they'd have just let me
Put
play.
me in, coach.
Yeah, he said I would have hit him. And the part of me is like, the real part of me is that you would have looked stupid just like the rest of your teammates would have. But I was proud of the point that he truly believed he could get in there and hit him. And that's back to your point. If you've got the mindset that you're going to get the guy, your chances are better than if you get the mindset. If you're walking out with a piece of paper and wanting an autograph after you strike out, you're going to get out or hit by the pitch, one or the other. But, yeah, that's what we were going with on that. But after a game, yeah, my grandson said, "Yeah, I would have hit him if I'd have got in." And I'm thinking, no way in heck. But that mentality. And that's why I've always liked you. You've got that mentality.
So, it was a good season. Record-wise, I don't think you can really look at that because I can think at some of the games. They've got this one won. And it just, like, at the very end. And then there was other games that was like, well, we're not coming back from this one, and then you come back and win it. I mean, there were some crazy, crazy games this year. Is there one that just kind of pops out that you want? Well, it could be win
I
or
love
loss.
that question. Leave it right there.
Okay.
And both of you answer individually, not at the same time.
I think the second game at White House. I think that was the biggest heartbreak of the year. But I think what we didn't do most games was we stayed in the game for every inning, for every at bat, for every pitch. We were there to win it. It didn't go our way, but we were playing as a team. We were in it the entire time, in it till the end. I think that was the best game we've played. I think that was the best game we hit all year. I just think that was the best game of baseball we have played all year. But that's baseball. You don't win those games sometimes.
That's interesting.
How about you? What game sticks out the most?
The first one that comes to my mind is the second game at Springfield when we got walked off. But now that Bill says White House, I think
By Logan.
The White House
walked you
game
off.
was huge, man. And going back to that White House game, I think there was like 30 something runs and 20 something hits.
Yeah,
and so that's just a quality baseball game out of both sides. White House has a really good team, and they've got a couple of good arms, and they came in. It was a seeding thing. It was a tournament thing, and so they came in thinking they're already going to be the 3 or they're already going to be the 2 as long as somebody doesn't lose.
Right.
And so we get out there and we jump on them like 9-0 in the first 2 or 3 innings because they threw like a freshman arm because it doesn't matter. Their coach looks at the score and they see, oh, the 4 seed is going to win and they're going to be the 3 seed. Let's go throw our ace. And so they throw Easton Biggs out there, and they're thinking Biggs is just going to go shut us down, and we just tallied another 11 runs onto the board. And so just looking at our lineup, that was the biggest win for us, was that we just came out and we saw a freshman arm because the game doesn't matter. And then we see their ace. We see Biggs come out there and they think they're just going to dominate us. And we just kept on going. We kept on tallying. We kept on fighting. And, it was a fun game because it got chippy. There was some stuff going on in the stands and on the field. And, I'm always in the center of that stuff. So that was fun for me. But to walk out of there with a loss was tough. And to walk out of Springfield with a loss was tough as well.
That was an interesting game because I didn't go to the game. So Game Changer, I had it over here to the side. And to see the scores the way they was going, and it'd be like I'd be working or something and then go, what just happened? What did I just miss? And then it got to where I'm just sitting there waiting for the next pitch to come across. What's going on? And it was just as crazy to watch it on Game Changer or watch the stats come across on Game Changer, I'm sure, as it was just to be there. Man, it was, gosh. And White House ended up winning the district tournament, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Yeah.
Didn't get through regions, though.
No, they got upset by MLK when that.
Yes.
For the top 2 teams out of our district, not both of them getting out of the regionals is unbelievable.
Who was the other? Springfield? Was they the other one?
No, it was Liberty Creek.
No, Springfield was softball. You're right.
Yeah, and then they had to play MLK and Hume Fog, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every now and then one of those schools will have a kid that's a D1 prospect on that bump.
I thought
very
Liberty
often.
Creek got to state. They didn't get to state? Liberty
Yeah,
Creek
they
didn't?
did.
Okay.
But White House didn't get out of the regional.
Right.
But what I'm saying is the 2 teams that advance out of our district to the regional, playing the district that they're playing, it's a godsend. I mean, there was no way you can ask for any more. In basketball, you don't want MLK and Hume Flock a lot of times, right? You don't want them. In football, if they put a football team together, you would definitely want to play them, but because they're not going to have the numbers. But in baseball, the same thing. They're normally trashy teams. It's not their fault. The kids in that part of the world that if they're really good baseball, they're playing private school baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're going to Franklin Road Academy, and they cherry pick those kids and get them away from that school. So for White House not to advance out of the region to get to the sectionals was just unbelievably not acceptable. Because, I mean, as much as I'm not for White House, I'm always for my district team to go ahead and advance. So that can, in my mind, tell me, we'll see, we were the best district in the state, so blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That's the kind of thing. Like
Right.
the 2 years in 2000, 2001, the years Portland, in those days, only 4 teams went to the state tournament. So the teams,
really?
yeah, when you lost the regional championship game, you were done. And 2 years in a row, my son was a sophomore and junior, we lost to White House in the regional championship by 1 run. Remember, every time Mike Conyers is anywhere around you, he brings that ball game up.
Yep.
If we'd have won that, and White House, they went on and won the whole thing easily. We would have, and nowadays we would have been in the Final 8. Portland would have.
Gotcha.
And then the year after that, Lipscomb. We were back. We played big boy baseball back then because White House didn't have Heritage pulling from them or Liberty Creek. White House was legitimately one of, and Tony Long was their coach. And if you ever go down the ball field and look on the scoreboard who the field's named after, Tony Long did it. He's one of the best 12-6 or 12-6 curveball teachers ever in the game of baseball. But Lipscomb put us out in the regional championship that year. But you didn't get a second chance. Now you get second chance. You know, you lose a regional championship down there, your season's over. Now you go to sectionals, but you got to go on the road.
Yeah.
Which isn't a big deal. Yeah, so that helps a whole lot. But our district teams, both teams, should at least get to the sectionals when we're seeded the way we are with that district that we got to go up against. It's not a very good district.
Well, I get that.
We've got a different mentality when it comes to that. You say you're pulling for our district. I'm hoping White House loses every single game after they get past us.
Yeah, well, I can see that, but then in the long run, when you're trying to put some stack your season up, and you're going, you look at records and all that. If you can at least say that our district was one of the best in the state,
Right.
that helps you chew off a little bit more of the bad taste of it. You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but you guys were 14 and 20 regular or during the season. There's no way this group of kids are 14 and 20 group of kids. You can be mad at me all day long if you want to, and there's no way this is a 14 and 20 team. I've coached them when they were in middle school. I've coached a lot of them during the summer baseball. There's just too much. There's too many pieces of the puzzle. That's the key. You've got to put a puzzle together. There's too many pieces of the puzzle. They're the end of the generational group. Now, you guys are going to prove me wrong here by winning a state next year, but you're going to have to work your rear ends off. And it's not just you two. Some of your other pieces of the puzzle that, and I'm just telling the truth. I always tell the truth. Give that to me.
Yep.
I always tell the truth. Right now, the puzzle doesn't look all that good. If anybody says, Coach Thayer, you're nuts, I'm not nuts. I've coached all of them. I know. It's not quite there. This past season, the puzzle was there.
Yes,
We should have got at least to the sectionals. We had the team to get to the sectionals. There's no doubt about it. We finished fourth, and the district really wasn't that good. If you start kind of look at the teams, you were better than every team you played. I watched every team you played. You were better than every team. Liberty Creek was pretty solid because they had players at every spot that wouldn't hurt them on the defensive side of the ball, which is critical. They had some pretty good pitchers. The guy's going to Belmont. He's not a superstar. If he was going to SEC school, he would be a superstar, or even bigger than that, because I don't even know what's Belmont in now. OVC, they're playing
Yes,
OVC baseball.
OVC,
You know, that's not very top-notch baseball. If they were playing the A-Sun, which shout out to Coach Forehand today, they got a chance to win the A-Sun championship this afternoon.
Who
At Lipscomb University, Coach
Okay.
Forehand.
Okay.
NCAA, stamp it if they can win it. A-Sun's a pretty decent middle-of-the-road deal, but you guys were the best team in the district, hands down. Absolutely, hands down. So
live with that.
well, you were the best team in the district. Get over it. And it didn't work out for us. So the only bright spots to me is when you get teams that can advance in your district. Then maybe your assumption that your district wasn't that good, you can wash it away and say, well, we really were that good. So, but we only got one team in the state, and that's Liberty Creek, and they went 1-2. So you guys were a good team.
Yeah, we were.
So, and hey, pressure to the kids behind you guys. They're going to have to pick it up.
So-
Because we can't right now on a piece of paper put a starting 9 that's solid. I can't.
We've got holes.
We've got major holes. There's going to be a lot of work to be done by some kids. They better be playing some ball somewhere this summer. Doesn't matter where they're playing. They better be swinging that bat this summer and seeing some pitching. It doesn't matter if they're doing Dixie somewhere, or it's called Diamond now. Doesn't matter. They better be somewhere doing some ball. And they better be in the locker room or the weight room training, getting their feet better. They just better be locked in, because if they're not going to put in the time they need to put in to make their game improve enough to be a puzzle piece, then next year is going to be tough for some of our good guys to have to deal with it.
And it's all going to be on the shoulders of a new head coach this time, as it was announced a 3 weeks ago that Coach Stein was going to step down. Knew that was coming, just didn't know what year. When he took that back over, we knew that was a temporary interim job that he was keeping until Principal Woods had found someone else, and they did find someone else. So Scott Hunt is going to take over next year for the team. Before we get to him, let's talk about Coach Stein a little bit. What is it that you guys liked about Coach Stein as far as being a coach?
Me personally, I just think he was a really great guy, great Christian dude. Knew his stuff about baseball. Just a great guy. Somebody you just wanted to go to practice to be around.
Right.
You know, like there was times where I'd be there early, just getting extra swings in and stuff, and he'd come over there early, and we just sit there and talk. And it was just a great 3 years to be coached by somebody like Stein, and it's an awesome experience.
And you're right, he knows baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, so I really learned to love Coach Stein this year because we just started having conversations here and there. And his biggest thing to me was that I just reminded him so much of him.
Oh, really?
And so he just got to relate to how I played, and when he's referring to that, he's referring to the arrogance that I take to the field. And I love to talk crap to the other team and make gestures and do whatever and do my thing. But for me, it's just a mentality. Like when I go out there, I just know I'm better than you. And to Coach Stein, that was him. And so he just told me that I was in a way easier to coach than some of the other guys, because that's how he took to the field and that's how he took to the mound. And so he shared stories with me about like times that he would get too arrogant and he would get too cocky and he would talk too much stuff, and it would fall on his back. And so then I could learn from that. And there was times that he wouldn't take that arrogance to the field, and then it would fall right back down on him. So we learned to have this middle ground. And so, like he knew that that's just how I played. He's not going to get that out of me. He's not going to say, he can tell me, but he knows it's not going to happen. Like he can tell me, stop saying stuff to the other dugout. I'm probably just not going to do it, because I'm going to get a K and I'm going to look over there and I'm going to say something. And so he just learned to find that middle ground with me and share some stories. And that happened this year, and I learned to love Coach Stein through that. But really, he just knows his stuff, and he's hard enough on us that he gets his point around, and whether it's yelling and kicking somebody off the field, so be it. That's just how it was. And that's him taking over from my freshman year got a little intimidating, because it's like, hey, he's going to yell at me, he's going to do whatever. But it just made us all better ball players. And him knowing his stuff and just bringing me aside and having those conversations with me I really learned a lot this year.
Good deal. So, new coach coming in. He's no stranger to high school coaching. His last head coach's stop was at Greenbrier back 3 years ago when they went to the state tournament. He was the head coach then. Have you had a chance to talk to him, meet with him, or?
We had a short meeting with him. What was that? 2 weeks ago. From what I can tell, he's a great dude, great Christian dude again. I think he knows his stuff. I think he'll be a great coach. I'm ready to start working with him.
When would that be? I mean, what do you do in the off season now? So is there anything going on now? Is it just all on your own time, or?
It just kind of depends. I think it's mainly, there's no like practices,
right?
But it's kind of like you do your own thing. The kids that are playing travel, you go play travel. I think tryouts are in 2 or 3 weeks, but
they're June 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Portland High School baseball field.
I don't think there's anything set in stone over the summer what we're going to do. I think he said a few things about doing things as a team. I don't know, not really baseball related, but
right.
I don't want to say team bonding, because that kind of sounds like more girly than anything. But
could be.
Come Bell Hay Air Place.
Hey, I could use some people.
Right.
That bonds your team.
It would. I think it'd be great for some kids, but
it's actually not a terrible idea.
Well, no, because we did that in high school. In the
Really?
summer, yeah. We would go spend a day on Saturday in Bell Hay. That was before so much of this travel stuff was out. But you could do it during the middle of the week. And then afterwards, the people who owned the farm actually fed us. We had grilled out hamburgers and played left-handed, right-handed softball. You had to hit with your opposite hand in a cornfield. A field with cow patties. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
You had to kind of move those out of the way so you didn't step on them. But it was fun. It bonded us big time.
Random thought. His granddad, both Jim and Bill, their farms were right in front of my house as I was growing up. That was all a huge field that's all built up now, but was a huge field, and I kind of miss those days, because I'd sit there and watch them on the tractor and getting the corn, and I don't know why I went off to that road trip all of a sudden.
Fond memory.
I just got to thinking about that,
Yeah,
because that was
fond memory.
all a field back in front of me whenever I was growing up, and now it's not.
Yeah, but that is a good team bonding deal, because they get out, and I can remember they had a pond, and they all we'd fish. They'd tell you bring your fishing pole, and If it was a good stock pond, that's always fun compared to not a good stock pond. But anyway, we had a great time. We got out there like 6 in the morning and stayed until dark, and everybody was required to show up, and we had a good time. Swim in the creek, but that's illegal nowadays. You can't tell kids to go swim in creeks anymore.
We'll see what their team activities end up being.
Yeah, these guys will still text us and keep us up to date on what's going on. But that's always fun.
Odd trivia questions. How do you decide what your walk-up song is going to be?
Don't ask Bill. We got to get his change this year for sure.
I should have went back to Freebird. I hit bombs with Freebird.
Yeah, Freebird will do it to you. Your walk-up song puts the pitcher to sleep.
Well, that's a good thing, though, right?
I guess so, yeah. I'm kidding with you, Bill. I love your walk-up song.
I questioned it sometimes.
Oh, he questioned it a few times.
But you know me, I'm just playing with you.
He'd get off on a rant. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, because I'm trying to talk about the game here. And then I thought, well, I don't know what you're talking about. That song. Oh, okay. I don't know what you want me to. Right there is the iPod. You know, he could have just grabbed it and put whatever he wanted to on there. You probably wouldn't have cared. You may have thought it wasn't your time to bat.
Yeah, you turned back into the dugout.
Said, oh.
What? Did we change the lineup around? Did they take me out and me not know it?
It's not me. It's not me. What about you? How did you select your? You just
freshman and sophomore year. It was California Love, and that's just because the first two words are California Love.
Right.
And that I just thought it was fit for me. And then this year I decided to change it up a little bit because I knew I'd be in that varsity spot, and I knew that I would be hearing my walk-up song a lot. And so I wanted like my character and once again that arrogance that I brought to the field to be known as soon as I come walking from the on deck circle. And funny enough, Station Camp thought they were getting under my skin, and they did exactly what I wanted them to do with my walk up song. It was kind of this like funky, like girly song that was turning on. And Station Camp, I came up to the plate for like my second or third at bat, and they were yelling "Pretty Boy" from the dugout, and I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I want you to think of me as when I come walking up to this song. And that's just how it was. I wanted something that was like, I'm just gonna go over there and strut my stuff up to the plate. And Station Camp started yelling "Pretty Boy," and I was like, all right, my walk up song fits.
What was your walk up song?
It was "My Type" by Saweetie.
Okay. By who?
Some random.
Okay.
I don't even know.
That's the part I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Well, how did you find that one?
I just started looking through Spotify, and I funny enough, I just looked up like pop white girl songs, and then I just started like skipping through, and I found one, and I was like, this sounds like a
playlist attached to that.
Yeah.
So you put some thought into it.
I did, yeah.
And so let everybody know what your walk-up song is, Bill.
It's made in Japan by, I think it's Buck Owens or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Freebird's way better though. So
you think you're going to go back to that next year?
It's a possibility.
You need to do a mashup of the two, maybe. I don't know how that would sound though.
I don't know.
I think you should let John pick your song.
I think I'm going to let Jace do it.
Because he puts thought into it, right? He's really thinking about it.
I'll get you a good one.
Yeah. Well, with AI the way it is now, you could just talk to AI for about 10 minutes, and they'll say, okay, I know what kind of guy this guy is.
Yep.
Here's the song just for you. That'd be kind of crazy.
Buck Owens is from Bakersfield, California, if you didn't know.
I did know that. That's why I was wondering why you didn't play Bakersfield.
Like Streets of Bakersfield?
No, that's why that's not your walk-up song.
Oh, no. I'm not going to own up to that one.
I like that one better than his.
Quickly said that. Any other sports you guys play?
I used to play football, but not anymore. That's about it.
Not going to get back to it?
Probably not. I'm more of a outdoorsy guy, if you can call that a sport.
Turkey season, they're going to start earlier this year, ain't they?
They are. It's almost over. It closes tomorrow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So we're honored you're here. It was raining. That's why you looked at the forecast.
That's
why you kept putting me off. Like, well, I don't know. I have to check. I'm going, what are you going to do? You're going to ask your dad, and he's going to say yes or no. I couldn't see your dad not letting you come. That's what you were doing. You were looking at the weather. Well, and if today was supposed to be sunny, I can't make it.
We could have done a remote, though. Could you imagine how that would have worked?
I got a wagon. We can set it up.
Hey, Bill, how do you like your walk-up song?
It's pretty good. It's just one I picked out.
No, I offered a guy a job once. I called him. I didn't know he wouldn't. I called him, and he's going to say, yeah, what are you doing, John? I go, I'm offering you a job. Well, I'm in a deer stand right now. Can I call you back? I go, no, I need to know right this moment. He goes, really? I go, no, call me back when you're done. I said, unless you don't get one, then don't call me back.
Jace, what else do you do?
I'm on the golf team.
Mm-hmm. Golfers, you consider yourself an athlete because you're on the golf team.
I think that golf is a sport because of the mental aspect of it.
Okay. All right. He took your side, didn't he?
Huh?
He kind of took your side on that one.
Well,
didn't he?
yeah, it is mentally nuts.
Yeah, that's true. So you're going to be on the golf team next year yourself, too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you like walking the course?
No. I don't.
Well, that's why my son played golf one year. And you got to remember, he was, baseball player, basketball player. So athletic part of sports wasn't like he liked doing that. But he played golf, and he said, Dad, I want to quit. And I go, what? He goes, I'm going to quit. And I go, why are you going to quit golf? He goes, I hate walking the course.
It's not fun.
I said, dude, you run the court in basketball all day long. He said, it just ain't the same thing. He said, golf is amazing when you're in the court. But he said, when you walk it, it's a total different aspect of the game. So I told him, I said, well, since you're not in the top 3 and you go explain it to your teammates, you got to tell them the truth. I said, this is the one time I'm going to let you quit if you want to. Because obviously I wanted him to do some other things. I wanted him to work on those other skills anyway. Because he was starting to use that for, you do your tee work. Well, I got to golf right after school. No, buddy, you do your tee work before you go do
I'm sure my
anything.
parents are tired of me going to play golf. I think I played golf 4 times this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Match play against you and Coach Woodard, who'd win?
Coach Woodard, I don't think he plays golf anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I think he just is the golf
He just
coach.
shares the wisdom.
He drives a cart, though, don't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got that deal going down.
I
good.
wouldn't say you want to be the golf coach. Do I get a cart? No, I don't want to be the golf coach.
Yeah, golf. I don't mind walking it. Like for practice, we get to go walk Dogwood. I think I just get like locked into playing golf that I'm just fine with walking it. But if I'm gonna go like play golf on my own time, I am not walking that course.
Oh.
Well, first time I ever took my son to play golf, that was in the Tiger Woods, where everybody wanted to play golf. We went down to Gallatin's golf course, which is beautiful down there. And we started hitting balls in the driving range, dude. They don't tell you when you walk up to a golf course nothing, right? You walk in, you pay, they give you a card. That's it. They don't. They assume you already know that you don't supposed to hit balls. The balls you hit on the driving range are their balls. We're hitting our new balls.
On the driving range?
Yeah, but nobody tells us, right? So then we're down there picking them up, and they're going, get out of there. And we're thinking, I'm not leaving till we get our new balls. And there's all these balls, so you're trying to, but if somebody would have
story.
If somebody would have showed up, if somebody would have been there monitoring the daggum thing, we'd have known, sir, here's your buck, this $5, you hit these, you don't hit your balls. Explain stuff to people. But we just show up. We didn't get a cart. We were walking the course. It started raining on the 9th hole. Luckily, some guys from Portland were there that we got to jump in their cart to get out of the rain. But, yeah. But
and that was probably the excuse, hey, they're from Portland.
That's why they knew us. They go, Coach Thayer, what are you doing? Gunner. And we said, well, right now we're under a tree and during a lightning storm. And they go, why don't you get in the cart here? But we finished the thing up and went down to Nashville and bought him a set of golf clubs.
If it makes you feel better, I work at a golf course and I do monitor every single thing that they do. So.
Oh, well, I'm glad you did that. But we went to Gallatin and they didn't say nothing. We're out there pounding our brand new balls. The only time they yelled at us when we were down in there picking our balls up, they thought, I guess we were still in their old balls. I don't know what they thought. But.
If I was on the driving range, I'd have tried to hit you.
Yeah, well, luckily it was the time of day we were the only 2 guys hitting, but they didn't explain anything to us. So, and you got to remember, that's the first thing I would ask if I was a golf course guy is, have you ever played golf before? Have you ever even been to a golf course? No. And explain everything, right? Explain it.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah. Or have a sign up, all right? Don't hit your balls here or something. How are you going to know if you just walk? And you laugh. It's funny now. I laugh about it, but think about it. Bill, have you ever played golf?
Never.
All right. Send Bill to a golf course and just go here. And don't have any signs or any explanations.
I would have hit the golf balls at you. I know why.
Yeah, but it's tough, dude. I'm gonna do it one day when you're free. Let's go down to Henderson.
No, what he needs to do. I don't like golf. I don't play golf. I haven't played golf in decades. I feel like it. But what I would do is when I used to mow our church field out there in the country, get done mowing, I'd make me a real nice spot there. And I would hit a pitching wedge and try to hit a certain spot close to the church, and that was my relaxing in between my breaks.
Hitting your church with golf balls relaxing.
In between my breaks from mowing the yard,
You must not like the
And
preacher
that was
very
actually
much.
fun. So I could see him, hey, I'm going to get off the tractor here for a minute. I'm going to hit 4 or 5. And I bet you'd enjoy it.
There's no
because
doubt.
I
was
liked
just-
doing that even though I don't like playing
Yeah, I
golf.
wasn't dogging Bill about not playing golf. I was just saying if you walked up the course, and luckily this story is helping thousands of people out. Because when they just walk
I'm
up the
sure.
course, they're going to know, don't hit your own balls on the driving range, because that's not the little silly range that's down there that there's balls already there are meant for their balls, not your balls. So how many?
I'm glad you learned that on your first try, though, and didn't.
You continually do
Didn't
it.
continue. That'd been strange. Okay. Questions we asked everyone. What's your favorite subject in school, if you have one? It don't have to be this year.
I don't know. I'm kind of a history guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like history, war history.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So what's your favorite war?
Your favorite war.
favorite one to learn about is probably World War II.
What's your favorite event where massive amounts of people got killed? Well, yeah, I'd go with that. But you, Jace?
I liked Spanish this year.
Really?
Yes, I loved my teacher and my class. She made it fun. I had some good classmates in there, but it was never one of those classes that I walked in like dreading it. Like I was always like excited to learn about whatever we're going to learn about in Spanish. If you would have asked me last year, I would have definitely said history. I've always liked history. My dad loves history, so anytime growing up when we would go on trips, we would always go find some kind of historical thing to go visit.
Oh, really?
And funny enough, like we would visit here in Middle Tennessee when we were still living in California. We went down to like the McGavick House and that Civil War history, and we would just go and tour that stuff and read about that stuff. So that's probably where I learned to like it. But high school history is fun, like World War II and learning about all that stuff. I liked it, but I really enjoyed Spanish this year.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. So you'll be able to take Spanish again next year, right? Is that still,
I
is
took-
that still a 2-year
I
course?
took Spanish
Oh, you've already
1
took
and
2?
2,
Okay.
yes.
You've already done that.
How do you say baseball's a tough sport in Spanish?
I don't know.
That would have been my answer, too.
Well, I didn't take Spanish, so I don't know. Back in my day, you didn't have to take classes. We were just happy you could speak English well.
I did better in Spanish than I did in English.
Yeah.
I was at school. That's what was bad.
I don't believe that, though. If I said that, you would say, yeah, I see the way you butcher names when we do broadcasts. But you're really good
McLaughlin.
at that kind of stuff.
What'd you say? McLaughlin or McLaughlin? What'd you always say?
McLaughlin. I don't know.
What'd you
Whatever.
always say, though?
I don't want to get it back in my mind the wrong way.
Okay.
Bill's my friend now. I don't want to butcher his name anymore.
Okay, favorite food or restaurant or whatever.
I love Cajun seafood boils.
Really?
That's my favorite food.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
From California.
But Cajun, now, you can have two different things in
Yeah,
there.
I like the spicy Cajun seasoning. I love crawfish. I've always loved shrimp and seafood and stuff like that. But you throw it all in together with some spicy sausage and some potatoes. That's my favorite food.
So how do you eat your crawfish?
How do I eat it?
How do you eat your crawfish?
I don't know what it means. How do you fix it or how do you eat it?
How do you eat it? Yeah.
Grab the head.
You ever
pull
had
the tail
crawfish,
out,
Bill?
I've never actually.
So you twist it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Then how much peeling do you do before you suck it out? Because the thing about to do a crawfish, okay, you got the head and the tail.
Okay.
The head's not edible. You don't eat the head.
Okay.
You suck the head, like you squish it.
Don't look at me like I'm stupid for thinking you would eat the head, Mr. Hit
Well,
the golf ball on the
no,
driving range.
I'm just telling you. But then the meat is in the tail.
Okay.
So a lot of people, they butcher it, but they say push it here and then suck it out, which you've got to have like a vacuum cleaner at a car wash to get it out. There's a certain amount of peeling you got to get the whole thing out, because getting half of the tail out is like you're a loser. When you see someone throwing away and there's a half a tail of meat in there. So I was asking him, like, I always peel the bottom two pieces, even though it takes longer,
so is
but
that
it
what you
comes
do?
out easier.
Yeah, you just take the head and then grab it in the middle where the tail is, and then twist it. And then if you don't get like all the meat out, then you peel the tail back and get the rest of the meat out, and then grab the head, suck the juice out.
Okay. So what he said made sense.
Yeah.
Okay. When I see a crawfish, it's going on a hook.
That's more my style.
And it's going towards the deep end of the of the little pond I'm at.
But that's more like a crawdad.
Well, that's true.
Not
That's
a craw.
true.
You don't put You put a real crawfish on a hook around here. Every fish in the pond's gonna swim the other way.
You are correct. You're correct.
They're gonna go, I don't want nothing to do with you, buddy.
It's like putting a lobster in there or something like that.
Yeah. The one thing I invented down there though is if you go to a crawfish boil, everybody stands. once I ate like 20 of them, I couldn't stand. I was full. So I pulled a chair up, and they were looking at me like, dude, I'm telling you, you can eat more crawfish sitting than you can standing. So then they started bringing their chairs around and go, you're absolutely right.
So you changed a complete culture.
Just in a certain part of it. But you can eat more crawfish sitting down than standing up. It's a fact of life.
Can't say that I've tried to eat it standing up. So.
Oh, you really? Well,
No.
when you go to a real crawfish boil, you can't sit down. There's no chairs there. You stand up. You eat around when they get it out of the pot and they throw it on the table, right, with the paper, and you eat and you dispose in the right thing. But yeah, you don't supposed to sit down if you're from down there. Well, I'll take you down there one day and I'll show you.
When you found a chair, did you get it from like the kids over there?
It was
'Cause
mine.
Your feet are barely touching the ground on this chair.
Well, it was out of my car. You know what I mean? So I brought it out and got it. Yeah, that's why next year when he can't make any hits, I'm just going to laugh. Okay, whatever. What am I doing wrong, Coach? I'm not telling you.
I can see it from here, but you're not going to know.
I know, but you're not going to.
That's funny. That's funny. What's your favorite food?
I might have to agree with Jace, but I'm more of a shrimp guy.
What did Jay say?
The shrimp bowl.
Okay.
He did crawfish, but
Okay,
I'm more of a shrimp
but you don't
bowl.
do crawfish.
Okay.
That it's really close. It's either that or like a good steak. Just
What's a good steak and a bad steak?
just a really good ribeye. I think that's like a ribeye or T-bone. That's just like the
So you
go-to.
guys do cows out on your farms?
Mhm.
You use your cows?
Yeah, they're the best.
Well, I want some cow meat.
We don't have any right now. We have to get one.
Bill ate it all.
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all did that.
Mhm.
Okay.
I know you do chickens.
Yeah, chickens is a big business.
Chickens is nasty.
Yeah, it is nasty. They smell whenever you put the
Yeah.
chicken crap on the field.
I'm just so proud of myself for not saying what I normally say when chickens are being done. But I'm not saying I hadn't said a bad word on the air yet, and I ain't going to now.
Good job. Well, guys, thanks for taking time out this morning to join with us. It's been fun. I kind of knew it would be. We'll be checking y'all guys out next year, back on the team. But for this year, thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for letting us be on here.
All right, that's Jace. That's Bill. We're going to take a short break. When we come right back, we're going to kind of clean up some things, some other sports, and get some other news out of the way. Until then, this is Off the Rails here on the Portland Sports Network.
In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service.
From phones and laptops to toys and tools, many of our favorite things run on batteries. But when tossed in the trash or recycling bin, these batteries can spark intense fires that are nearly impossible to stop. Battery fires are happening more often. They've destroyed homes, burned down garbage trucks and recycling centers, and, tragically, taken lives. When a facility goes up in flames, trash and recycling services can be shut down for weeks or even months. The good news, battery fires are easy to prevent. Just remember, never throw batteries in the trash or recycling bin. Always tape the ends and drop them off at a safe collection site or mail them in using a certified return box.
Tennessee Commission for the United States Semiquincentennial was created to plan, encourage, develop, and coordinate the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States and recognize Tennessee's integral role in that event and the impact of its people on the nation's past, present, and future. The Commission promotes an inclusive statewide celebration and educational commemoration of America's 250th by interpreting and preserving Tennessee's unique stories, objects, landmarks, and places across our diverse state that defined who we are as Tennesseans and Americans.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you
can prevent wildfires.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
In the city or in the woods, help keep America looking good. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service.
While the hosts and guests are encouraged to express their views, they don't necessarily reflect those of the management of Portland Sports Network, but they likely do.
Sorry about that. We're live. The mouse is messing with me. It just goes away. And then I hit it, and then it clicks back in. But welcome back, sports fans, or non-sports fans for that matter. Off the Rails is Coach John Thayer with the voice of the Panthers basketball, because I don't want to embarrass you by calling you the voice of the Panthers. Apparently that voices you. The voice of the Panthers for basketball and baseball and soccer when it's not raining. And what else are you the voice of the Panthers from?
That's it.
Yeah, you're just kind of, but you are, man, basketball is the hardest thing of all, and you nail that. You're really good at it.
Well,
but anyway, Kyle Eden, did I even say your name? I just said voice of the Panthers basketball, because like I said, I don't want to offend anybody and make anybody, or make you feel uncomfortable by calling you voice of all of the Panthers. Your voice for a lot of the Panthers.
Okay, I'll take that.
And you do a great job.
Hey, we're talking about all these high school teams, their seasons ending. Your middle school team finished up with a winning record.
Yeah, we finished 9-6. A couple adjustments on some scoring. We played teams in Kentucky that were using illegal bats.
What made it illegal?
It was too light. The national rules is drop 3 bats.
Were they wood or aluminum?
Aluminum.
The aluminum bats were too light.
But national rules dictates a drop 3 bat, which is really, that's one reason why I do respect the parents that sign their kids up for middle school baseball, especially when they're 6th or 7th graders, because they have to swing a big boy's bat, the same size bat you use in college.
Okay.
And, it's a tough adjustment because in the summer they're using, drop 8s, drop 10s, and they have to use a drop 3 for middle school. Well, we're playing the tournament in Kentucky, and all of a sudden, man, they're hitting some just blasts, and we're thinking, there's no way this kid can hit that ball that far. And then we come to find out they're using drop 5 bats and drop 8s, and that's just not apples to apples. That's just not fair. So we adjusted a little of scoring.
So does a drop 3 mean the bat is 3 inches longer than the ounces that it weighs, or have I got that backwards?
3 inches. It's 3 inches lighter than the length.
Okay.
So if you got a 33-inch bat, it's 30 ounces.
Okay, so it's the other way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but it makes a big difference. If I can tell you this, if I would let my 6th and 7th graders use drop 8 bats or even drop 5s, their hitting average would go through the roof. I've got some kids that if I let them use a drop 5, the ball would.
So I wonder how that was found out.
Well, because one of my kids said, "Coach, that doesn't look like a legal bat," and I don't.
So that was during the game.
Yeah, and I don't keep up with the bats anymore because I don't have to buy them. Like when your son's playing, you obviously keep up with bats because you're buying them. But then I asked, and they go, "Yeah, that's legal up here," and I go, "Yeah, that's not legal anywhere else." So we still played because we, we're there wanting to play.
Yeah.
But we just kind of adjusted a little bit because it's just not fair. But anyway, we had a good year. Got 2 kids that are reclassifying because they're young students, so they're going to be back next year. We're going to be loaded. We're going to have a good team.
Well, good. We talked a little bit about state tournament with the softball teams. We kind of touched on it. Westmoreland locally made it to the 2A. They ended up 1-2. And then 3A, Liberty Creek, which had moved up a level. They had won the state tournament last year, and that's when West had pitched that no-hitter, or was it a perfect game? It may have been a perfect game.
I think it may have been a perfect game.
For the state championship, which was like a big, huge deal. They come back this year up in 3A, made it back to the state tournament, but they go 1-2. Springfield also got in there, and they lost both their matches. And I think Liberty Creek lost to Alcoa both times. I believe they lost to them and then went around in the losers bracket and then lost to them again once they met up. But
yeah, I'm not sure on that. And I know the state baseball tournament, Division II AA, CPA 1, Division II Single A, Lakeway Christian, which I believe is down towards Chattanooga area. But don't quote me for sure. But for some reason, I think I went to a game down there and they were playing. Division I Single A Richland, AA Milan, AAA Crockett County, and 4A Farragut, which is kind of normal for them. And on a personal note, Keelan Neal, one of my summer baseball players that's still deciding on what college he's going to go to for football. I think he's up to 30 offers right now. I'm hoping he signs with Tulane University, to be honest with you. That would be really cool to be able to go watch him down there when I'm visiting my grandbabies. But anyway, picked up shot put, first time ever in his life, and won the state championship. Division II Single A state championship, which was pretty impressive. Then girl basketball, we had 2 signees for college.
There you go.
Nylock Paul, Ren Lake Community College, school up in Illinois. In the middle of nowhere, but it's a really pretty school. And that's real good. We mentioned 2 or 3 times on the air that I thought she was college worthy, if you remember that or not. I thought she was no doubt should get a good fit, be a fit for some college. Coach Stein did a good job. I'm not sure he did it, but I'm almost positive because a thing like Ren Lake, they're not going to have a real big recruiting deal where they're all over the place. They're not going to be coming to Portland and Greenbrier and all that. They don't have that kind of budget. So I'm pretty positive Coach Stein knew that she had the ability to play at the next level somewhere and got on the phone. He's got a connection with Ren Lake. I'm sure at his age, he probably didn't know the same people that when he went there. But he's a smart guy. And like I said, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. He probably picked up the phone and go, look, I got this girl, sent some tapes, video of her, talked about her athleticism and her quality of a person that she is. And she signed. And any place you go, sign to the next level is a great accomplishment. And if she's got higher aspirations than that, get in the weight room, get in the workout program, get you 2 years on the court that looks good on film, and you can advance to the next level. There's no doubt. And then Kieva Bradley, another girl that I had mentioned that I thought somewhere could fit into college, is going to Volunteer State Community College. Good thing about that, she can drive back and forth home. That's the hard part. I'd like to see our high school somehow or another spend some more time, and they might already, but the kids I've talked to tell me otherwise. But spend some time and talk to these athletes that sign schools away from home, that they're gonna leave home and pack up their stuff and live in a dorm or a house or apartment, and kind of talk to them about that expectations. The biggest problem that I see with kids when they leave is they want to come home at any instant that they possibly can. And they don't need to have that mindset. They need to lock in. They need to act like they're surrounded by a wall and they can't leave. And they need to get involved with the community, the academic community, all the clubs, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you're there on a baseball scholarship, make sure you go to all the football games and basketball. If you're there on football, same thing. Go to basketball, go to baseball. Be part of that university. Don't have home on mind. Have doing what you can do on campus. Any spare moment that you've got and you're not working out, work on your grades. Work on getting out, used to that area. Don't spend your road time coming back and forth. Because what that does is that gets you not locked in like you should get locked in. And I'm hoping we've got quite a few kids that signed this year. I'm looking forward to going up to Lindsey Wilson. And we got Keelan Dalton that signed there. And when Josiah Sharklet signed there, and I think we had another one that signed there. And I'm planning on going up and watching some football. But I hope those kids lock in to just stay on campus, get that campus life, soak it up. Spend time on your grades. Take your grades serious. And just stay there and be part of the community and see how much learning and growing you can do as a human being. Home, we're not going anywhere here in Portland. We're proud of them. Every time they come back, we're going to give them a hug and say, we love you, we're proud of you. But you ain't got to rush back home to us. We're not going to forget you. And we don't expect you to. We expect you to stay safe, get your degree no matter what, and give it everything you can on the sports field. But don't be worried about your people back here at home. If your true friends are always going to be your true friends.
Another state championship sport, track and field. We had 2 that went to the state tournament this year. Jackson Poole with the 3,200 meter run. He finished 12th in his time, which I looked at that list. It was like from top to bottom was just literally a couple of seconds. It was amazing how close that whole field was watching that. Same with the 110 meter hurdles. R.J. Shannon Sr. Made it to the state championship in the 110 meter hurdles, which seems like that's a yearly thing for a PHS track and field team to have someone in the hurdling bit.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And as far as, on paper, he came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was impressive. And I know when we went down and did the district track tournament, we had no clue. We didn't get a whole lot of information. Ben Neiswanger, Alex's dad, he hooked us up with something called Mile Split. That I sent that to you.
Right.
That gives you you pick the track meet that you're at, and it gives you the races, what time they start.
Right.
No, but Ben, him doing that helped us. He knew we were just like blind. And then luckily I ran down to the tent, and they gave me a few things too. Luckily they had an extra copy of it. But we were up there blind. We had no information that was given to us at all. And a track meet is something you got to have information.
Right.
Remember when I was talking about wanting to do it, I said I'm all in because I love track and field, but I need some information because you can't just guess what's going on. So Ben giving us that link. He saved the day there, and like I said, luckily they had one extra copy of some stuff down at the starters tent that they didn't have to give us, but they were lucky enough to give it to me, and that helped us get some stuff going too. But that was fun.
And we had a couple of girls that actually made it to sectionals.
Yeah, Isabel Woods in the 100-meter hurdles and Zoe Thornton. I'm not sure. I didn't have Zoe's event down for some reason, but she did make it to the sectional, so that was good. I tried to find that meet on this Mile Split, and I just didn't have time to lock into that one how they finished up on that. But just getting there is really impressive.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. You was talking about R.J. Shannon. It seemed like it came up personal record, then next week personal record, next week personal record. So he was improving as the year was progressing. Of course, he's a senior, but Jackson, a freshman, he'll be back next year. He's already set the bar up there pretty good. 3,200 meters. What is that? 2 miles maybe?
I think it is 2 miles. And we ran it 9 minutes, 55 seconds, 55.13 seconds. So finished 12th. So that was a good run for him. And I know that was funny because we were there. They did it last, and we were broadcasting, and every time he'd go around, we'd cheer on him. And we asked him afterwards, did that help? He goes, yeah, it's always helps to have cheering in the crowd.
Probably caught him off guard a little bit.
He kind of did a double take to us the first time. Me and Dawn were screaming, go, go. Yeah. He kind of, I was been bad if he'd have stumbled and fell while he was looking at us. But he can do.
Been all your fault.
Yeah, but he can do 2 things at once, so that's kind of cool too. And on baseball, did we mention the PHS All-District?
We did not, and we should have done that while they were here.
Yeah, Hayden Holmes got it. He was a sophomore. Bill, and who was a junior, going to be a senior, and Tristan Calvert is a senior and graduated. So shout out to them. Real quick shout out to, I guess it is, our thoughts are with Isaiah Patton. He got in an automobile accident last week. He's still in the hospital getting some surgeries done. Hopefully he'll get better and back out. Hopefully all's well with him. He's a great kid. I really think a lot of him. He'll always be dear in my heart, like all the boys are. Yeah. The ones who trust you and believe in you and give you all they got. You never flush those kids out of your mind ever.
And we touched on the new baseball coach, but just real quick for those who didn't catch it or didn't know about it, Coach Scott Steinbrecher did step down as a Portland baseball coach, which we said was coming.
When Coach Stein, he was doing the high school a favor.
Yeah,
he was happy as the girls basketball coach. That's his thing. That's what he does.
Right.
And we were in need of a high school baseball coach. He did have some background in baseball because he played college baseball, and he volunteered to do it. He you know what I mean? He wasn't hunting for a job.
Right.
He bailed the school out by accepting the position, and then he did it, I think, for a year. And one of his assistants wanted it. He was baseball only kind of guy, so he said, "Here, you take it," because I really didn't want to do it anyway. And he had it for a year, left the school, didn't put us in a pinch on the timing. So Coach Stein took it again. As a part-time gig, as until we can get somebody in here, he bit the bullet for this school. He has a young family. He gave up a lot of time. When your father, it's like I tell my son, the most important thing you can ever do for your kid is make sure they know you love them. And your time is your most precious gift. And Coach Stein gave up a lot of time, helping the school out and helping the baseball program out the last couple of years.
Looking at the new coach, Scott Hunt, looking at his resume, pretty impressive here. Scouted for the Atlanta Braves, San Diego Padres, and the Chicago Cubs. It's been part of 7 different coaching staffs: Beach, Lebanon, Trousdale County, Friendship Christian, Stewart's Creek, and Greenbrier. When at Friendship Christian, he was part of that coaching staff when they won the Class Single A state tournament. And then we had mentioned that he was at Greenbrier most recently, 2023, when they won 26 games, and then they went to the Class 3A tournament. So kind of a big deal, I think. I think that should be a good fit. It's interesting that Coach Brianna Gillen, assistant coach for the girls basketball team, was from Greenbrier. That was her last stint. And now we get another Greenbrier guy over here. So we're kind of plucking from Robeson County there to get our coaches in here.
Yeah, and Coach Hunt, I know Coach Albee, who's at Green Hill now, he was down there. He really got that program built up and legitimately one of the best programs in Middle Tennessee. So he had a team that was ready to go rock and roll, and he left because he had a better job offer at Green Hill. Green Hill's higher level, more money they're putting into the fields and that kind of stuff, better community involvement. And Coach Hunt bailed them out, so to speak, by coming in and taking that over, because that team coming in on paper was already loaded. Remember we talked earlier about the puzzle pieces and that kind of stuff. That puzzle piece was put together, but all because it's put together doesn't mean you can win with it, right? All because you got talent doesn't mean you can win. It takes a lot of moving factors. Once is if you got that much talent and you're a new coach, you gotta learn those kids, and they gotta learn you, right? Just walking in isn't going to get you anything. You've got to, so to speak, prove yourself. And then you got to make the players prove to you too. All because this is the puzzle that was given to me doesn't mean I agree with the way it fits. And they had a really slow start that season, and it's probably because of what I just said. They had a lot of kids coming back that thought they were good already, and he probably just needed to get them refocused, which happens when you get an older class. Sometimes they get a little overconfident, and you got to reel them back in. And he did a good job and got them to the state tournament.
And this I did not know. His dad, a Hall of Fame coach at Cumberland University, baseball coach, Woody Hunt, won 1,630 games, 3 NAIA championships, national championships. Didn't know that. So
yeah, I don't know Scott at all, but I knew Woody well. And yeah, he built Cumberland's program to one of the best NAIA programs in the nation, year in, year out. And then, Coach Forehand took Trevecca, and he matched up with them pretty good. That was a pretty big rivalry for a couple of years there going on. So, yes, Woody is a Hall of Fame coach, won a whole lot of baseball games. And then last, we're running out of time here, but PHS football announced their preseason scrimmages July 31st, 6 p.m. versus Rocheview at Portland High School, or here at the field, at Portland's field. August 7th, 6 p.m. versus Gallatin here at the stadium. And August 14th, 6 p.m. Westmoreland here at the stadium. And the regular season kicks off Friday, August 21st at White House Blue Devils. Are you going to be there?
Should.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to do football or not. I'd be sad if
I'll
you
be
didn't.
involved somehow.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
I've already got our little thing all set up and ready to go. Hopefully we'll have some advertisements to stick in there too. But if not, hey,
Yep.
we're good.
Understood.
Community service.
Well, that wraps it up for all the news and views that we have there. We want to thank you for listening in this morning. We appreciate Bill McLaughlin and Jace Wright being with us. Hopefully Miguel will be back with us soon next time. Until then, for John Thayer, I'm Kyle Eden. You've been listening to Off the Rails. Have a good rest of the day.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.